Welcome or welcome back to 310 Stitcher. My name is Jade and I welcome you all here. Thank you so much for choosing to spend some time with me. I really appreciate it. The community has been so wonderful to me, and I really love what we've built here. So thank you. It's all you guys make it worthwhile. So anyway, I am back for another, so this is going to be a quick episode because I don't have too much to show you. I've been concentrating on a couple of projects in particular. I'm going away for a couple of weeks in just a couple of days, and I had these, I don't know, I just gotta be in my bonnet about getting two things finished before I left so that I could focus on some other things when I got back. Those two things, as you might imagine, especially if you've been following me on Instagram or Facebook, but those two things are the Heaven and Earth Design Cell and Dragons of the Sabbat. So I'm going to show you those two things because I'm super excited about both of them. By the way, today is Tuesday the 22nd. All right, let's show you. So first I'm going to show you, actually I don't have to show you a picture because you're going to see it finished. So I have two finishes to show you today. So one is actually a finished object. Another one is a finish of a goal. So I'm going to show you the finished object first, which is the 2024 Heaven and Earth Design Cell. I finished it. There we go. So exciting. I have not ironed. It's been washed. As you can see, all the grid lines are gone, but I've not ironed it at all yet. I'm so excited about this. Oh, I'm very happy to have this finished. I was getting kind of tired of it, to be honest with you. I do really like it. It's not that I don't like it, it's just I was getting a bit burnt out on it. So yeah, so it's beautiful. So this, I still have to iron it, and I'll probably put it up in a frame somewhere. Yeah, I'm not sure. Anyway, some of the colors when I was doing this, I wasn't 100% sure. Like that tree has purples in it. So it's a little bit different, but actually, like when you look at it from back here, it just looks like a dark tree. Anyway, some of the colors in here are it's just funny. You wouldn't think that they would go, but they do. Anyway, I am, as I said, very excited about having this done. So in case you're not aware about the 2024 Heaven and Earth Design Cell, 10 charts were offered for that stitch along. You had to just choose one, and if you got 4 pages done by the end of the year, then you get all 10 of the charts that were offered initially, minus one by a retired artist, sorry, which was Sheena Pike. So that chart has been replaced with something else. But if you finish the entire thing as I did, then you get not only those 10 charts, but you also get 2 free charts of your choosing on Heaven and Earth Design's website. So I know one of the ones I want, but I haven't chosen the second one yet. So maybe by the next episode, I'll have, or my next Flosstube, I'll have both of those chosen, and I will show you what they look like at that time. Okay, so I'm gonna put this one away. Put it over there. So that's one. By the way, I didn't tell you, that one is done on 28 count linen by Perman. I think so. I think it's permanent. Anyway, it's 28 count linen. And I did it 2/1 half stitch. And I didn't, by the way, I know a lot of people talk about how if you do half stitch, it sort of warps. Half stitch, half cross, 10 stitch, all the same thing. But I don't have any warping on this piece whatsoever. Yeah, so I'm pretty happy about that. All right, so that's one. The second one I have. Oh, let me show you what that one's gonna look like when it's finished. I should have got this ready. And I'm gonna need my glasses. So how have you guys been doing? I hope all is well, wherever you are in the world. So this is Dragons of the Sabbat, or Sabbat. I'm not sure how to pronounce it. It is a chart by Pain Free Crafts, with the artwork is by Anne Stokes. So this is kind of like a supersize. It's kind of like a supersize chart, or pretty close to it anyway. There's 604,000 stitches in this whole thing, so it's a biggie. So my goal by the end of last year, I had all of, hold on. Okay. By the end of last year, I wanted to, so I'm tackling all the black first. Okay, so by the end of last year, I wanted to have all the black on the corners completed, the outside corners. And then by the end of this year, I wanted to have 100% of the black completed. So that's all, there's a lot of black in there. And guess what? I got it done. All right, let me I took this out of the Q-snap for the final time. Okay, I think I'm gonna have to dun, da, da, da. Boop. All finished. I love how you can see the outlines of the dragons. That one's cool. Oh my God, I'm so happy. I'm so excited about having these done. Oh, I can't even tell you. Let me give you the stats. So I have done all of the black, and that is 251,562 stitches of black in a year and a half. That is incredible. It's a lot. Oh my God, it's a lot. I can't stop looking at it. So I'm doing this on 22 count even weave, and I was doing it 3/1 10 stitch. I did 3/1 because I did not like the coverage of 2/1. I find that like you can even still see a little tiny bit showing through. Actually, this is where I started, so in here it shows a little bit more because I was still experimenting and doing, like, this would be 2/1 in here. But then once I moved to just 3/1. Let me show you here. It's pretty solid. There's a lot of cat hair and stuff on there, dust. This thing needs a wash so badly, but it's gonna have to wait. So anyway, so that is my second finish and final finish for the day. So this project, I have two options. One is I can put this away until January, and my goal for next year is to complete one dragon. So I don't know yet which one I'm gonna start with. I'm thinking about this purple one right here because I love purple. Oops. So yeah, so I may just put this away until January, focus on some other things. That was my initial plan. I do have another option, and I'm not sure. I don't think I'm going to do this, but one of the other options that I had was, see all these lines and symbols. I could work on that for the rest of this year. So I don't know. That's an option. But part of the reason why I really wanted to finish these was so that I could get, so I could just have fewer whips to focus on for the rest of this year. I had my focus whips, as if you've watched my videos before, you know I have about six focus whips remaining for this year. Sorry, including those two, so now there's 4 left. I have Home Sweet Home, and I'll show you where that is. Maybe that'll help me make up my mind. So this was my anniversary piece. This is by the Cross Stitch Studio, and the artwork is by Diana Dengel. That's what it's going to look like when it is finished. My goal for this year was to get to 50%. So by the end of the year, and I'm not too far off. So that's what I've gotten done so far, and I am at 42.93%. So not too bad. So that's one. The other one, or another one that I have, that was my focus piece. One of my focus pieces is the Colosseum. So this one, I just had a random goal of getting to 25%, I think. And that's where I am there. Then I have Sunset in Venice, which I haven't worked on in a couple of months now. So this one, I had this goal of getting to, I'll show you the picture first, of getting to 33%, so 1/3% complete. This is, oh sorry, Colosseum was by Cross Stitch Collectibles. I don't remember who the artist is. This one is artwork by Dominic Davidson, and it is charted by Heaven and Earth Designs. And that's what I've got so far. I've got, what, 28.5%. I'm at 28.5%. My goal for the rest of this year was to get to 33%. This one's being done 1/1 full cross on 25 count. So I'm not 100% sure that I'm going to get to that, goal, but that's okay. I would even be happy if I just got to 30%. So those three are really the main. Let me see here. Am I missing something? Yeah, so those three are, oh, and sorry, I had one more. The final one is the Veil of Death. So yeah, so I have 4 left. This is artwork by Chris Ortega, charted by Heaven and Earth Designs. And she's just gorgeous. And I'll show you where I am there. So it did get all the way across. I know you can't see much of what's in here, but there is some stitching all in between there. In that one, I'm at 7.61%. My goal was to get to 10%, so that's still doable. So I have 4 projects left that were out of my focus piece, out of my originally 8 focus pieces, and I have had some finishes, and I've had a couple that I put away temporarily. Yeah, so I'm thinking that's what I'm going to do. I don't think I'm going to pick up dragons again, unless I really get a hankering for it at some point, which is always possible. And I'm going to work on those 4 projects. The first one I'll probably focus on will be getting Home Sweet Home, but I don't think I'm going to be monogamous. I think I'm just going to continue rotating through the 3 every couple, one. I don't tend to like to do more than 1 project a day. I just kind of work on that 1 project and get as much progress as I can in the day, and then the next day I'll switch to something else. So I'll probably end up doing that. 4 projects, 5 days. That's pretty good. 4 projects in a 7-day week. That's pretty good. So that allows for some leeway to either do some work on something else, or on days when I'm just too busy and I can't work. That'd be great. From the last time we met, I'm actually going to reach over and grab my notebook. Pardon me. Okay, from the last time, I was supposed to have started a new start. So I am doing a new start every 2 weeks. I spin my wheel, and then that will be the new start that I start in that next 2 weeks. Right now I'm a month behind, so I have 2 projects that I've not started yet. One of them is the Gazebo Path, and one is Move Forward in Love. Let me pull those up so I can show you what those look like. I've not gotten them started. The Gazebo Path one I have ready. Like, I have the fabric, I've gridded the fabric, I have the floss pulled. I've been so focused on getting Merry Mushroom Village 1 done, which, by the way, I don't think I said is artwork by Amy Stewart, charted by Haid. And getting that one finished, and then getting the Black on Dragons finished. I just had that, I had the drive to get those 2 things done. And so I haven't been wanting to work on anything else, which is okay, right? Yeah, so this is what, I have no idea what this is actually called. I got this out of a magazine, and I don't have the magazine pages left. So I just took photos of them, and that's it. And that's what I've uploaded into Markup RXP, but that's what it's going to look like. I think this is beautiful, and I can't wait to start it. I will, now that I've gotten those 2 big focuses off my plate, I think this is probably what I'm going to do next. Yeah, and let me show you the second one. The second one was Move Forward. Move Forward in Love by Modern Folk Embroidery. Oops. Oh, there we go. This was the Pride Stitch Along in 2022. So this is the color version. I'm actually going to be doing, I'm not doing this. I'm going to be doing this. I don't have fabric yet for it. I have to figure out, well, I mean, I have lots of fabric. I just have to figure out which one I'm going to use. And I think I'm going to use a multicolored silk. So just one silk and do all of it. I think that's what I'm going to do. So anyway, so that'll be the next start. And then, of course, I have to pull another one, right? Because every 2 weeks we pull one. And I don't want to miss a week just because I haven't started those other two yet. So let's do that. Okay. Did that say Hogsmeade? Yes. I think that said Hogsmeade. Did it? I wish the name would stay on the... Okay. I'm pretty sure that's what that said. So that is so exciting. I'm so excited about that. That is a pattern that I just recently purchased. And I'm going to blame Leanne from Leanne Stitches. Hold on one second. Okay. That is what it's gonna look like. I just bought this like 2 weeks ago, so I'm super excited about it. So this one, so artwork was made with Leonardo AI. The chart designs by Crescents Creates. And I found it by putting in Crescents Creates just in Google. That is amazing. Oh, I'm so excited. Okay. So I don't know if I'm going to be able to get all 3 started before I leave, because I leave, today's Tuesday, I leave Friday, and I still have to pack. So I may just get the gazebo path. I might just get the gazebo path started, and then I can start the other ones when I get back from my holiday. Yeah, I have to write that down. I won't forget, but okay. So excited. I'm really happy about that. I'm real, as you can probably tell. Okay, I wanted to talk about plans for 2025. I'm just going to take a sip of water because I'm really thirsty. Actually, sorry, before we go there, let's talk about plans for the next 2 weeks. As I said, I'm going to be away for 2 weeks. I am going to have, you know, quite a bit of time in airports and on airplanes and in the car when we get there. So what I am going to do, I'm not going to bring any of my full coverage just for space reasons. So what I'm going to do, let me put this in here. Okay. I'm going to bring 2 non-full coverage. One is a project that I would like to get, well, ideally I'd like to get all of them done for Christmas. I don't think that that's going to happen, but you never know. Depends on how much I get done during my holiday, I guess, which probably won't be that much. But anyway, the first one I'll show you is called Christmas Vacation Rant, and this is from the Christmas Vacation movie, and it's the whole rant that Griswold does when he finds out he's been enrolled in the Jolly of the Month Club instead of his bonus that was going to pay for a swimming pool. So anyway, so that's the one. So that's one that I'm bringing. This one, I'll show you the starting point, and then I can show you when I'm done, or when I get back, sorry, where I'm at. I'm doing this on 40 count linen over 2. I started in the middle, and that's what I have. What do I have? Danny effing K and where and when Santa squeezes H. So I'm thinking that would be a good project to bring, because each letter is kind of like a mini finish, right? And it doesn't require too much concentration. So I've got that, and it's very small, like it folds up like that, and there's not too much. I guess I better make sure I have enough floss on that. So that's one. The second one, let me grab the picture for that one. The second one is called the Video Game Sampler, and this, sorry, before we go there, the Christmas rant, I just got on Etsy. I just Googled Christmas rant, Christmas vacation rant, and there's a few different ones that will come up, so you could just choose the one that you want, the one you like. This one is called the Video Game Sampler. Apologies, I should have warned you, there's swear words in both of these. That's what, oops. Just trying to maximize, but so this is called the Video Game Sampler. Who is this by? This was a fundraiser from the Video Game Sampler from January 2021. There was 2 versions. One is the white, which is what I'm doing, and there's another one that has is being done on black background. And does the name? Oh yeah, okay. So it's Screaming Heart Design. So if you just Google Video Game Sampler by Screaming Heart Design, it should come up if you're interested. You it's a charity thing, a charity fundraiser. So you just have to donate to a charity. I think it was a specific charity. I can't remember now. But then you just send them a copy of your donation receipt, and they send you the pattern. So let me show you the starting point on that one. I also started in the middle. And remember, there are swear words on here. So start in the middle there too. This is being done on 18 count even weave. I write it on right on there. I find this easier to do. My sewing machine isn't working right now. So instead of serging, I find this a little bit easier to do than the alternative. Just fold over the fabric and just tack it down. It stays great. So anyway, so those are the two I'm going to bring. They both fold up really small. I'm probably going to put them both just in this thing here so they're together. And this is a smaller bag than this one. So yeah, last thing I'm going to bring, I'm also going to bring some knitting, because especially for the plain, I might not feel like, I don't know, the light and stuff might not be adequate for stitching. So what I might do is knit instead, and I'm going to use a patent square. This is for, I'm going to start another pair of socks. Patent square. This colorway, so it's kind of funky colors. I'm making this pair of socks for my father-in-law. He likes very funky colors. And so I thought that would, if I could get them done by Christmas, I thought that might be a nice Christmas gift. So those are coming with me as well. Okay, and that's going to be my stitching for the next 2 weeks. For the rest of the year, like I said, I'm going to focus on those other 4 focus projects that I had. I'm really proud of myself for having stuck with the program for the most part for an entire year, because I started those focus projects last November, end of October, beginning of November. So it's been a full year. I did end up having to take a couple of focus projects off the table, which is fine, because it was just too much at one point. So that's fine, but I'm pretty happy about that. I wanted to talk just really quickly about next year. I know I've spoken about my plans for 2025 in the past, and I've just made a little. I've just been thinking about it lately, and I've decided to make a few tweaks. So I have something like 54 projects. That's a combination of full coverage and non-full coverage. And what I did for this year was I actually ended up taking half of my projects, about 22 or 23 at the time, and I put them away, and I did not work on them at all. Haven't even pulled them out of their bag except for when I did my whip parade. And then I had my 8 focus projects, and then I had the remainder. And the remainder I would pull out once in a while. At one point I was doing a wheel. I stopped doing that just because the focus projects were just too much and I was too busy. So, and I've decided that next year I want to do things differently. So the part of my plans that dealt with setting myself up to finish 1 or 2 full coverage pieces a year, starting next year, is still in the works. I'm still like, that is still in the plans, I should say. Obviously the full coverage piece that I finish next year is going to be a fairly small one. So that I still want to do. And then I was thinking that I would still have 1 or 2 focus projects that would come out every single week. So one of those might be Home Sweet Home, but it's going to have a much lower stitch count every week than this year did. But I still do want that to come out every week. And then one more, and I haven't 100% decided on what that second one is going to be. I have a few options that I've been mulling around, and I have to pull. What I have to do is I have to pull them all out and look at them, and then make a decision from there. But yeah, so I'll have to think about that. But I also want to work on some of my other projects. So I was listening to Kim Hollenbeck, and her recent video, she was talking about being a progress stitcher. And I agree that I think that's what I am as well. I'm a process stitcher in that I really enjoy the process of stitching, but I also want the finishes. I also want to see progress on my projects, and it hasn't really sat well with me that I haven't picked, at least 30 of them up at all in the past year. That doesn't sit well with me. I want to see some progress. I want to get moving on some things. So what I had been going to do, I've been watching a lot of videos where people are talking about 2025 plans, and there's a lot of really complicated plans out there. Well, they're complicated to me. I'm not casting shade on anybody's plans. For me, if things get too complicated, I just won't do it. I'll just lose interest. So I want to make things fairly simple. And so my initial thought had been, well, I have all my projects listed in my spreadsheet alphabetically, and I would just, once I got my 2 focus pieces done, then I would just start from the beginning of the list and work my way down however far I got that week, and then the next week I would just continue, right? Just continue top to bottom, top to bottom, top to bottom, or bottom to top, whatever. And I still might do that, but what I might do instead, which more and more is looking like it would be more fun, is the Monopoly game. So I saw this on the Sloppy Sisters, Sister Stitches. I'll tag them below. Sorry. I'll tag them below. But anyway, what I thought I would do, and so I just thought, hey, that would be fun, because then it's not as, I could also just spin the wheel. I could just also spin the wheel. That's also an option. I also have my whips all listed on the wheel, but I thought that just having a bit of a Monopoly game might be fun as well. So I was looking at the regular Monopoly game, and there's only, 20 something spaces, and so I wasn't too happy about that. But I was looking online, and I actually found one that has sort of multiple. Let me put my glasses back on because I can't see. I found one that has multiple levels to it. So see, it has another internal level. So when you land on one of the railroads, depending on whether you spun an even number, an odd number, tells you whether you jump up to this inner circle or whether you carry on around the outside square, obviously. And this was the perfect number for all of my whips. Every single one of my whips applies to one of these squares. And so I think this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to do this one. And I'll explain really quick how the game is going to work for me. You can decide if you want to join me, please do. But okay. And again, I've just tried to make this super simple. So on the first round around, there's no buying of properties, okay? And the number of stitches that I do when I land, so the number of stitches that I do when I land on each one is the value of the property. So this one, Ventnor, is $260. So it would be 260 stitches. And I don't care whether it's a half cross or full cross, like whatever. And if it's a full cross project, then 260 full crosses. If it's a half cross project, I'll do 260 half crosses. Whatever, I don't care about that. Okay, so that's what's going to happen on the first round. From the second round onwards, we're going to be able to buy properties. And to buy the property, it's going to be 2 times the purchase price. Okay, so for that one that was 260, that would be 520 stitches to buy that property. For rent, so if another piece lands on a purchased property that has no houses on it, the rent will be the property value times 3. So in the case of 200, that Ventnor Avenue, where the purchase price is $260, the rent would be 3 times $260. Why am I doing that? Because as I said, I like big projects. I like making a lot of progress. I don't like switching projects after only 100 or 200 stitches. I like working on them for my full stitching time in a particular day. So that, and I like I said, most of my projects are full coverage. I want to get progress on them. So these numbers are going to get quite large. But anyway, so rent 3 times the property value. Now, if we buy a house, we can buy a house for 4 times property value. So in the case of Ventnor Avenue, that would be 260 times 4, so that's almost 1,000 stitches. That would be more than 1,000 stitches, almost 1,100 stitches, or 1,200. Anyway, now if another piece lands on Ventnor Avenue when it has a house on it, the rent is 5 times the purchase price. Now, if the piece that lands on it owns that house, then they're just doing the purchase price. That's it, just the purchase price. So that's just the 260. And when we buy more houses, because of course in Monopoly you can buy up to 4 houses, right? And then a hotel. So for each additional house, it's still the rent is still 5 times the property value, but then for each additional house, it's an extra 500 stitches per house. And then once we have 4 houses, we can swap them out for a hotel. To buy a hotel, it's 6 times property value. If you own it, the stitches are only the property value. And if you don't own it, then the stitches for rent are the property value times 5 plus an extra 2,000 stitches, which is the equivalent of the 4 houses, right? Hopefully that wasn't too complicated. It's really not. It's just an extra value. It's just for each thing, it's just an extra property value amount. So it's really not super complicated. So to buy, 1 times the property value. To rent, first round where you're not buying, it's 1 times the property value. To buy, 2 times the property value. To rent, 3 times the property value. To buy a house, 4 times the property value. For each additional house, it's still 4 times the property value plus an extra 500 stitches per house. To buy a hotel, it's 6 times the property value. But if you own it, it's still just a property value amount. Hope that made sense. I'll put it down in the description box below as well, so you can check it out. To land on chance and community chest, all I'm doing for those is whenever you land on chance or community chest, you owe 500 stitches. And when you land on the utilities, it's 10 times the dice total that you've rolled to get there. And for tax, when you land on the income tax, it's 750 stitches. So, and the free space is 500. That's right, I forgot about that one. 500, and go is 200, of course. So, what do you think about that? Is it going to be too complicated? Am I going to get to the point where I'm doing way too many stitches? It's very possible. It's very possible, which is why I think I'm only going with two pieces. I'm going to use 2 pieces. I'm using crystals. I haven't chosen the crystals yet, but because I can't find my Monopoly game. We have 2 of them, but I don't know where they are. So I'm just going to use 2 crystals as my 2 pieces, and that's what I'm going to use. So even at the most, if we're getting, at the hotel stage, I guess we could get, so say for Ventnor, and I don't own it, I land on it, it would be 5 times the property value. So 5 times 260, so that's over 1,000 stitches, plus another 2,000 stitches, which is the equivalent of 4 houses. So that's 3,000 stitches. It's not small. So so sticking with just 2 pieces, I think that'll be best for me, because then I'll also have my 2 focus pieces. Yeah. So anyway, let me know what you think. If it's super complicated, I don't know. I can always change it again if I need to. But that's what I'm thinking for now. Just for something fun. I'll continue to spin my wheel for my new starts every 2 weeks until I get through that entire list, which is probably going to be at the end of next year. Is my guess, because I still have, there's I don't know how many, they're not counted, but there's a lot of pieces still on this wheel. Anyway, I think that's it for me. I hope that, I think that's it for me. I don't know if I will get another Stitch With Me in before I leave. I might or might not, we'll see. But otherwise I will come back mid-November, which is when I'm back from my holiday, and I'll show you what I've worked on in the past couple of weeks, or I guess it'll be 3 weeks. Hopefully it would be fantastic to get those 2 pieces finished. Yeah, that would be awesome. I'm not holding my breath though. And then there's the pair of socks as well. Anyway, so I hope you all have a lovely time. I hope you've enjoyed this little update. I will be back in about 3 weeks, and I hope wherever you are in the world, you're happy, healthy, safe, and remember, if you can be anything in this world, be kind.